suicide like I don't hang with more.
Yeah, it's the BML, nigga. I remember them days we broke. I remember them days we were having. I remember the day with no hope. I remember them days we were trapping. I remember some days be slow. I remember some days shit slapping. I remember I couldn't get that hoe. I remember her cheeks start clapping. I remember being late to school. I remember skipping my class. I remember I couldn't get them shoes. I remember them niggas would laugh. I remember they tried to play me. And then I remember me spazzing. I remember we loud grinning. I remember them talking with my dad. I remember them days at the skating rink. I remember them tall tees. I remember waiting by the house, found a shot to call me. I remember them days in the projects on the football team. I remember getting sprayed by the fire hydrant. I remember my first cup of lean. I remember hearing gunshots before I go to sleep. I remember listening to Boy Charlie and Shaq D. I remember eating free car. I remember them dope I read. I remember hearing the joint line and I ain't go to sleep. I remember getting out the bus and going to Lou House. I remember Granny Restaurant in the Blue House. I remember it used to be green. Me and Cuz slept foot the head on the couch when we go to sleep. I remember sneaking out the house. I used to steal the key. I remember the taste in my mouth, my first time smoking weed. I still remember the first cough, remember it made me sleep. I had nightmares, sometimes I still remember them dreams. I remember my first kiss, I remember my first fuck. Remember my high school sweetheart, remember my first love. I still remember our first kiss, remember our first hug. I remember I caught my first zip, remember my first dog. I remember them days we broke. I remember them days we were having. I remember the day with no hope. I remember them days we were trapping. I remember some days be slow. I remember some days shit slapping. I remember I couldn't get that hoe. I remember her cheeks start clapping. I remember being late to school. I remember skipping my class. I remember I couldn't get them shoes. I remember them niggas would laugh. I remember they tried to play me. And then I remember me spazzing. I remember we loud grinning. I remember them talking with my dad.